You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting nerds, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world, and show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Gonna talk to Jeff, only got the best. Gonna put their knowledge to the test. Gonna laugh and eat, gonna live the dream, gonna show you things you've never seen. Gonna sing the song to the break of dawn. Gonna rock this party all night long. So come on everybody, let me see you dance. Get yourself ready for one more chance. You found the coolest place to be, the PlayStation collecting nerds, and come on, won't you stay with me? Welcome to the show. Gather round the boys and girls, collectors from around the world, and show the people what they need to know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey. Welcome, everyone. Episode number 8, Season 2 of the PlayStation Collectors Podcast. And tonight we have Tristan and Antoine on the show. Welcome, guys.
Welcome. Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, and we got Mr. Kitty. Hey, buddy.
Eddie's joining us as well, so we got a full house tonight.
Yeah, he was already yelling and screaming, so I figured I'd just join the show already.
Yeah, exactly. Tristan, welcome back to the show, man. It's been a while since we've seen you. What have you been up to?
Yeah, again, thanks for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on for the third time, this actually. So
That might be the first question in the future, so take note.
okay. Good to know. Yeah, I've actually been up to a couple of trades with some very good friends of mine. Actually, 2 days ago, I received a very nice package from Germany, from Christian. He told me he would be also watching the show, so I think he's live right now, or he will be in the near future. And I have some. I have some stuff to show, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the differences between collecting in different countries.
And Antoine, this is your first time on the show, man. Tell everyone about yourself.
Yeah, actually, it's my first time on the show, so thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. And so lately, I've been picking up some also PS3 variants because I have completed the French set. So I'm going for the PAL set with actually I think the only game that I'm missing is the Russian Buzz. As many
collector people are. Congratulations on the French set,
but
man.
yeah, I almost then completed the PAL set, and now I also look into the exclusive in NTSC, so mostly the United States, and a lot of game in Japan also, kind of some Asian games as well. So yeah, so I'll try to get what I like the most first, and then I'll see if I go for a full exclusive USA set, but I'm not sure yet. I'll just see what I can find. Actually,
there's lots of sports games in there, so
exactly. All the NCAA and the Madden and stuff. All many games that are sports, and I'm not that much interested in too. So I think I'd rather get some other games first. I mean, the games that I'm more likely to play. So I will avoid those for the moment.
At least most of them are cheap. That's the only good thing you got going for you. Most of the sports games they're cheap. I mean, shipping them over there probably isn't that cheap, which is unfortunate. But
exactly. They're not because if you're cherry picking like one or two games, it's really expensive with the shipping. You pay more shipping than for the game actually. So yeah,
I have the same problem with crappy German games that are like worth nothing, but it costs me $70 to get the damn things, and everybody over there laughs. They're like, "That game sucks." I'm like, "Shut up! It's so hard to get over here."
You're spot on, Antoine. Though, like when I started doing it, I was buying, one game at a time. Like you buy the expensive game that you're interested in, like Top Gun, because it's got the movie, and you spend the $40 on shipping, and then you do it for a couple, and then you're like, I'm going for a full set. Like this is ridiculous. And then I eventually, I got contacts who sourced the games for me.
You have Top Gun and NASCAR, I think, for the movie ones.
Yeah, they're exciting to pick up, Yeah, and then you get to a point where if you can meet someone in America who can find these games for you cheap, they can ship over 20 games at once, and you only have to pay shipping once, and it makes it
far better.
Much
That's got to be
better.
exciting too, just getting a giant package of a bunch of stuff you want. You know what I mean? Like, that's like Christmas. That's that trickle effect. I don't know.
You feel like a little kid on Christmas Eve.
You also got to be sick to your stomach if it's late. You're like, no, where's all my stuff? Everything's in that package.
Or if customs doesn't let you know what the indication of the package.
Yeah, it's got to be rough.
It's also
This reminds me, anybody have Silver Chain's PS4 copy lying around over there? By any chance?
I can help you get one for sure. Yeah.
I can get one. It's just literally it's like $40 and then $60 to ship it or something, and I'm like,
that's not. No. It's not a €100 game. No.
That's not. No, that's what I'm saying. It's not a good game, but I still want it. So.
Sounds like you need to build a package, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a rabbit hole. $1,000 later. But yeah,
it's worth doing. I'm building a package with Tristan at the moment. It's like 12 months in the process, and it's coming along.
It's always exciting to get a big parcel from overseas when the parcel won't even fit in your mailbox because it's too big, and you have to go pick it up at your local post. And
so I like to hear.
It's always nice.
Yeah.
On that, I've got packages sitting here for Tristan and Antoine at the moment, and they're both not going to fit in your mailbox. So.
Yeah, I guess.
It's cool. So do you just stick with PS3 mostly, Antoine, or do you collect any other systems? Or
I'm mostly into PlayStation systems, but the home consoles. So I also collect on PS2 and PS4. And I here and there I will get some 360 games that are not released on PS3. So mainly the exclusive games that we don't get on PS3 for the 360. But I'm mainly into PlayStation games.
That's cool. That's fair. Yeah, the 360 did have a lot of cool stuff on it. Out of all the Xbox systems, that's the most desirable in my opinion to collect for. It was actually a really good system. That was the only Xbox Series system that I knew a lot of people that actually went for that instead of PlayStation, but always had nothing but PlayStation. But that was the first time people were like, "I'll get that too," or "I need to have that as well." But I don't know what happened to Xbox, man. I don't know what they did. And I loved how that console had so much customizability. I loved all the plates and all the different versions, and you could get all the controllers, all the different ways you want. It was really cool.
Yeah, and especially on
the big black fridges.
On the 360, they had some very cool special editions of the system. I remember that one time we gifted to a friend the R2D2 system, so the Star Wars one, cool. And the system has the same sound of than R2D2 in the show. So yeah, it was a really nice system to have. Exactly.
That's probably my favorite 360. That one, it's awesome.
And yeah, we didn't get something like that on the PS3 actually, but it would have been really cool to have some customized themes for the PS3.
Yeah, we got some cool consoles for PS3, but
yeah, exactly. But nothing.
I like that, buying
the sounds.
Buying
the sounds were always the same.
I like that you could customize what you wanted back then. I mean, you can still do that with their controllers. I know they do that. You can order your controller however you want, but
the 360 also had the custom faceplates.
Yeah,
which were really cool. Like with the PS5, there was so many different faceplates. You had the Final Fantasy ones, and it's just so cool. And if you wanted to get into console collecting, you can just buy them. You don't have to go and buy like multiple console variants like with the PS3.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
$400 a pop.
I feel like
So,
Sony's
for the PS3, you have to get the
insane.
system.
Sorry. They're insane for not releasing more plates. They're crazy. Like, why was there no God of War plate when God of War came out? Like, why didn't they release a Horizon one? Like, they could release for every big AAA title they have, they could release plates and they'd sell out every single time.
Yeah.
Like, it's really confusing to me. As you can see, like, I like plates. I got lots of plates. Like, I'm down. You know what I mean? So.
Shut up and take my money. And they do in Japan. Like, Japan has so many systems that we didn't get over here, special edition ones.
Yeah, I know. All the cool Dragon Quest ones come out over there. It really makes me sad.
Yakuza and so many of them, man.
Dude, they have. Oh man, I'm a big Dragon Quest fan, and like they have 2DSs, 3DSs, PS4s, Slims. They have dude, they have so many cool looking ones.
Switches.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite.
They have a
Switch
Vita.
is the Dragon Quest 9 one. Oh yeah, the Hatsune Miku Vita. Oh,
all of the Hatsune Miku stuff. It's a whole nother rabbit hole. I played that.
Have
like
you
crazy.
seen the there's a it's a Pokemon Switch. I think it was only released in Japan, and there's like 20 of them. No, I'm gonna have to look it up. I think it's called like the Black Dialga edition or something. I don't know. It's super rare. I'll look it up and I'll.
Oh, the Olga, yeah, from Diamond and Pearl.
Maybe I was watching a video on it a couple of weeks ago.
No, I did not know about it. I probably don't want to know about it. I don't collect Switches yet.
Yeah, yet.
Yet.
Yet is important here.
I have become slightly sickly addicted to 3DSs, though. I kind of want every one of those that ever was made, but that's probably not going to happen. But I like collecting consoles. I don't know. I'm reaching the point now where, like, again, I always talk about this. Space is an issue, so I can't just go out and buy like $300 worth of games. I got nowhere to put them. So I'm like, I'll spend $300 on this console. And it goes right here. I can fit that right there. That thing's sweet. So it's like, I don't know. I've moved on to the point where I'm into more like peripherals and accessories and controllers and stuff like that. Just because like I can't even play the games I have, so games aren't even. Joe has more plates than Grandma's China plates. That's right. It's true.
That's cool. I can't find the Switch.
I'm not that much into system collections because it takes a lot of space. And same for collector's editions. I just don't have the storage at the moment to store them. So yeah,
I don't
are the best. Okay.
I don't collect PS4 Pros, although I'd love to. Like I do love the PS4 Pros. I wouldn't mind getting all them too. There's some sick ones, but getting the space. So I like handhelds. I like PSPs.
Well, collector's editions are crazy these days because the PS4 ones are absurdly big. Like there's collector's editions for the PS4 that are bigger than box console.
Okay. I actually have 2 or 3 that are very big for the PS4. I have the Cyberpunk one, and it's a very, very big box. And I also have, I think, the Death Stranding one and the Last of Us Part 2 ones, and all those boxes are very big.
They're cool collector's editions, but they're so big.
Yeah, I mean they're very cool editions, but they're also very big. And once you get all those, you mean okay, I won't be able to have more series if I continue like this, and I will just need to find another way to collect because it's I won't be able to store any more of those. So that's why I'm not that much into in collector's edition or systems right now. But I'd love to, but. Yeah, space is an issue. Storage is an issue.
And that's what the great thing about games, just standard games, is they're so small, especially like Switch games and DS games and PS1 games. And PS3 games within a sense. They don't take up that much room. Once you start getting into like PS2 and bigger, it starts to take up a lot of room. Yeah, you're definitely spot on with like if you want to get into collecting big stuff, and you don't have the room, you can only buy so much stuff and then you've run out.
I swear that's why I went on that 3DS binge because I'm like, I can fit all these on one shelf. Yeah, this is
And
awesome.
then you buy a system, and it takes up next to no room as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and the thing with like a box console, it's like you can have one box console, but you can also have like I don't know, like 50 games in that same volume. So
Exactly.
it's kind of like or this or that. So
Anton, I want to ask some questions about France. So, what type of
sure.
shops do you have to buy your video games at in France? You're the first
Okay.
collector from France to be on the show.
Yeah, so we have some second-hand shops. So it will be maybe your CEX that you have maybe in the UK, but in French they are called cash shops. So basically, it's the kind of shop that you go to trade your games for cash or for I don't know some credit to buy anything else in the shop. So we have a lot of them. We also have some video game shops that are specialized into video games. I mean, they only sell and trade video games. They tend to have some more quality stuff. The rare games you can find there, especially. And they also sells new games and new systems. And you have also just the general shop that will sell like the supermarkets and things like that that will sell everything and also some video games.
That's interesting.
And also we do have some second-hand markets websites, so that's where most collectors will get their games because as they are no longer sold in the wild and it's very hard to find them in cash shops or second-hand shops. You will get them online for the most part, especially on PS3 and earlier. You can still find some PS4 games, but PS3 is kind of hard to get actually. Another very big name in French is Micromania, which is part of the GameStop franchise. But just in France, they're called Micromania, but it's basically GameStop.
I found the supermarket thing really interesting because I know I have a lot of double packs in France that are like exclusive, and I've been told by people that they're just made up by the supermarket and they put two games together and slap a sticker around it and sell it like that.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you can go shop for groceries and also pick one or two games while you're there. So it's always fun.
That's awesome. I'd be doing that every time.
I'm kind of glad, dude. That's the last temptation I need. You know, they have like the candy in the aisle right before you check out. Imagine if they had a bunch of like, you want Godzilla on PS4, son? I'll be like, damn, maybe I do. I can't handle these impulse purchases. Do you guys have like do you have yard sales over there or anything like that? Do you have any like flea markets or
Yeah,
like
we have some yard sales as well, but mostly in the summer because of the weather. And but you have to get up very early if you want to find some really nice things because most of the time everybody is there when people are still unpacking their stuff. And it's quite hard nowadays to find some very valuable things, but you can still make some nice deals actually. But it has become more and more difficult.
That's exactly how it is here. You get like vultures circling around like 6, 7 a.m., driving around the neighborhood waiting for them to open. So,
Anton, I have an interesting question about the French set. I've spoken to a lot of French collectors who are going for full sets. And a lot of them think the full set is all the French PAL games. And then there's another opinion that the full French set is all the French PAL games plus all the Canadian French games as well. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, my opinion on that is that if you're collecting the French PAL set, it excludes the Canadian games because they are NTSC and not PAL, even though with HD TVs it's not a big difference, but still as long as the code for the game is BLES or BCES, I think it goes into the French PAL set if it was raised in French, of course. But for the Canadian games, I don't consider them to be in the French PAL set, although you could get them. But I'd rather have them in the US set rather than in the French PAL set, because even if there's some French on the cover, they were never released here to begin with. So I don't think I would count them in the French PAL set actually, or
I
the
think
French set for that matter.
to further add
Because
to that collection, you mentioned that you were going to possibly collect the American games down the line. Would you then look at getting the French game instead of the American version?
no, absolutely not. When I'm going for the US games, I tend to prefer the full English ones and not the Canadian ones. Maybe it's another rabbit hole that I will fall into in the future, but right now, right now I stick to US games that are full English.
No, thanks for that answer. I just found that really interesting. I know another French collector I spoke to was avid that the rarest game in France is the Canadian Africa, and it's the most expensive PS3 game out there.
I wouldn't say that, because yeah, it's a rare game, but it's mostly rare because you can't find it in France. You will never find it in second-hand shops because it was never sold in France. But you can still find it online if you're lucky. But yeah, so I guess that the most valuable and harder game to get in France for the PS3, if you're going for the full PAL set, French edition, would be the SpongeBob one. The SpongeBob one in French you never see, and it's very very hard. You can see it.
I love having people from around the world. I just got to interject the fact that the rarest, most sought after game in France is some freaking SpongeBob game. Is
you can
I was well aware of that.
I love it,
You
dude.
mentioned the other one now.
I mean, you can find the French and Netherlands version. Yeah, so you will have some both language on the cover, but the one in French and only French is really really hard to get. And I have seen one go for 500 euros on eBay. So it's getting stupid like that. So it's getting out.
You hear
of
that?
hand.
European parents, go look through your crap. Look at the SpongeBob. Did you buy that for your little kid? You
Make
might
sure it's
have
got
it.
the manual in there, but because it's worthless without that piece of paper.
And it's just awesome.
How
to
about
me.
the Drakengard free collector's
Oh yeah,
edition?
that one. Yeah, but what's fun about it is that some people won't even consider it to be in the French set because it's not a physical disc in there. There's only the soundtrack. So it's the same with a game like Child of Light, for example, or Guardians of Middle Earth. So it's only download code. So some people won't count it in the set. But for people that will count it in the set, yeah, I think it's also a very hard one to get. But though it's more an expensive game than a rare game, because if you go on eBay and you look for this collector's edition, you will find some. You will find some at some crazy prices, yeah, but you will find some copies. Where if you go for the SpongeBob game in French, you won't find it on eBay. You won't find it anywhere. So I think, yeah, the value of the Drakengard 3 pack is very high, but it's still easy to find on eBay. Whereas for the SpongeBob, you can't even find it on eBay, even if you have tons and tons of money to spend on it. So yeah, I think that's the main difference between the two.
I have seen that Drakengard free go for over €1,000, but you're right.
Yeah.
Like it's available to find. Where the SpongeBob probably would go for way more if someone out there was wanting it for their collection because it's the only one. And
What's the exact name of the title, if you don't mind me asking? SpongeBob what?
Yeah, you mean in French or in English?
I'll grab the English one now.
Le Français!
Le français would be Bob l'éponge, because SpongeBob is actually Bob l'éponge in French, and it's Bob l'éponge, la revanche robotique de Plankton. So it's a literal translation of the English title, but yeah, this one is very very.
Just putting out. This is probably in the top 15, top 10 rarest Australian games too. So
Okay.
if you're an Aussie collector, grab this because one day it'll be like a French version.
That's wild. Is that what kind of game is it? Out of curiosity, it's like 3D platformer or
Yeah, it's
2D?
a 3D platformer, and you can play with 4 people at one time. But it's very short and very boring game, very repetitive, and I wouldn't recommend it if you were to play it.
Some of the SpongeBob games are fun. I watched speedruns of one of the PS2 SpongeBob games. It looks fun.
Battle for Bikini Bottom. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
Battle
really
for
good game.
Bikini Bottom. There's like a
Yeah.
full speedrun community around that game.
Yeah.
Back in the
They
day, it was a
really
very
break
good
the
game
game
if you were
down.
a fan
Like,
of SpongeBob.
I've heard that the Cosmic Shake one's pretty good too. I haven't played
Yeah, I
it.
didn't play that one yet, but
Heard it's-
I heard some
good.
good things on it also.
Yeah, Anton, what I wanted to talk about, and it's the title of our show, I guess, is PS3 collecting in France versus the Netherlands. And we've had a lot of guests on from places like the Netherlands and Germany and Belgium, and they collect full PS3 sets. Like Tristan, I don't know if Tristan's going for one yet, but he's creeping his way there. But they'll have a prerogative that most of them don't really mind what version they get, whether it's the Dutch version or the German version or the UK version. Where I know a lot of people in France will only collect the French version of games. Do you know why that is, or
Yeah, I think that one day you said that it's the same for Australian people. They tend to get the house version, the PAL house version of their games. I think for French people, it's the same one, and it's just more desirable to have the French cover, and even if you can find the game like maybe 3 to 4 times cheaper in Italian or any other language, French collector will tend to get the French version because it's the one they want in their collection. It's the one that was released in French and in France. So yeah, I guess. And I'm like that too. So I'm also like that. If I have the choice between maybe 2, 3 versions, and the French one is the most expensive one, I will go to the French one as well. So and even when I'm collecting, if I'm collecting some PAL games, I will go for the English version when I can because it's I think it's what's closest to what you speak and what you collect actually. And for French people, it just makes sense to collect French games, even if they're actually more expensive. But yeah, I think it's just like that. I can't really explain it because it would make sense if the disc in the game is the same as another version which is cheaper. It would make sense to go for the cheaper version, but I don't know. I guess that's just a French thing to go for the French version.
I think it's interesting because it is a little bit of a different reason in Australia, and Andy pointed that out that we're on an island, so like most of these copies weren't released in Australia. So if you want to get the other version, like the US version or the UK version, you do have to pay that extra $20 to import it. And then because of that, people start collecting certain collections, and then they want to keep those collections, so they won't buy. Oh, well, all my other games are this region. I'm not going to buy one game that's out of place and things like that. But I find it so interesting that France is connected to all these countries, and like places like the Switzerland and Belgium and stuff even speak French, and yet it's still like that.
Yeah, and I guess for Australia, you have a different rating system. So maybe all collectors in Australia want their games with that rating system, so they know that it's from Australia and it's not an important version from Europe. And I guess maybe it's also why they are collecting the PAL house version of those games.
And now to get a completely different side of the argument, Tristan, I'd love to hear your perspective from this.
Yeah, well, as Antoine already shed light on, in the Netherlands we had a lot of different formats of language releases. So, as he said, we had Dutch, French. So it's just Dutch and French on the cover, and the disc is the same as like a UK one. Then you have the multi-language, multilingual, I think it's called, which is Italian, French, Dutch, and German on there. and then you have releases with only Dutch. But those, I off the top of my head, I can only think of Blades of Time that has that. So I don't know if there are a lot more, but I think that's the least amount of them released.
I believe it was more prevalent back in like the PS1 days where they
Yeah.
had games released. Like there's a lot of German games that are only in German and a lot of French games are only in French and things like that.
Yeah.
But
And
So-
these two,
I guess it depends on the publisher as well, because obviously it costs more money to localize the cover in two different languages. So it just makes sense to make one version with all the European or most of the European language and release it in different countries. And that's why we have a lot of games that are in French and Netherlands. Because that way you can release your game in France, in the Netherlands, and in Belgium, because they speak both Netherlands and French. So those versions are thought after for in the Netherlands, in Belgium, and in France. So maybe they're also hard to get. So it depends really, but we I think compared to the Netherlands, we have a lot of versions that are full French covers. Where if in the Netherlands, if Tristan said that they only have Blade of Time, yeah, it's it's not really much. So I think it makes sense in the Netherlands to go for more European versions that at least have English, because if you're going for a full Netherlands set with Netherlands on the cover, you won't have that many games in your set.
And I've never heard of anyone going for a full Dutch set. You know, that's not a thing that you hear about.
we're not that. At least I'm speaking for myself and not the whole country, but from my experience and for myself, we're not that picky with regarding to language. We, on average, we even prefer the English copy, and myself as well. So.
Okay.
It's not from America. We only speak English.
Yeah.
I know
So
American collectors don't like it when they get Canadian games.
Well, well, it depends. So it's weird. First of all, I think everybody to some point has some sort of like pride in collecting their own country stuff. I don't know what it is. It's just like you want a lot of people they want stuff from where they're from. I mean, that makes sense. And then I don't know. This is a theory of mine, but I feel like in America, a lot of collectors, we were pigeonholed into only collecting ESRB because of the, for a long time, that's all that would work on our consoles. We didn't have, because of like region locked stuff, like people started collecting just their regions. And then it did break open a little bit once PS3, but I feel like everybody is already in their habits. Like if you already have a PS1 or a PS2 collection and it's all ESRB or Nintendo cartridges or SNES or whatever it is you've been collecting, all of a sudden do you just branch out to everywhere? Like I don't think a lot of people
I could counter that, Joe, because like PS2, but as soon as the PS3 hit and it became region free, and I could play these games, it changed for me because that's what it got down to.
I'm just talking about like lots of other people. I'm open-minded about that. Like if you look, like I almost always buy ESRB, but like that Song of Horror and that Daymare, that's the PAL versions because they're cooler. I don't give a damn. Like I'm like the American version was the same price. It didn't come with no cool slipcover and all this little cool box with the art cards and all that stuff. So to me, I just I get whatever version I think is the coolest that has English. Personally, I could care less.
But to add to that, do you collect PAL PS1 and 2 games, Joe?
I think that for the different editions, if for example America has a better edition or more valuable because it has a slipcover or a steelbook or anything, I will also try to get it because I like this edition best.
It's just cool. Yeah,
but I will get it after I have the French edition of that game.
So that's funny because I bought the ESRB version of Song of Horror. So I have that too.
It's a really cool slipcover and sleeve and everything.
But that's what I do. I get the one I get the regional one, and then I get the cool version too that I like. So I guess I am a liar. I do care.
But as you said, with the region locking of games, when I'm collecting for the PS2, for example, I don't collect some other region than PAL because I won't be able to play them unless I get also the system. for that region, and or yeah, you could use also emulation or hacking your PlayStation, but it doesn't make sense to me to collect those versions, so I will stick into PAL versions of those games.
Yeah, that's what I do too. I have really in the last maybe year or so, like strongly actually considered finally getting like a modded PS2 or trying to find like a PS3 test system or something. If I could get a console that would play those games, then yeah, I would be all about it. But that's the only reason I haven't jumped in so far. But there's a lot of games that are really cheap, especially Japanese games like shmups and stuff that I want. Well, those aren't cheap, but there's lots of games that I could region-free games that I would love to have, and PS2 especially. There's a lot of really cool PAL games that we didn't get. There's legitimately like a lot of them. So
yeah, you get all the Phoenix games. So
okay, well you can keep Snow White or whatever the hell that garbage is. But
they missed 100 Phoenix games. They missed 70 SingStar games, 20 Buzz games. Oh.
No, I wouldn't mind Michigan from Hell or Forbidden Siren 2, or there's a couple of games that I for sure would like. But yeah, that's not the Phoenix games.
Yeah, you mentioned the PS3 test console, and if I'm not mistaken, they can play all the regions for all the PlayStation systems, right?
Yeah. I would love to get a PS3 test console.
Go on, Tristan.
Sneak peek.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Oh yeah, you can say that slim test. Oh, dude, that's so cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass. That doesn't play PS2 though, right? PS1 and PS3.
From what I could gather, the info was that this is the hardest one to get of the test consoles.
I've never seen a slim test console before.
Yeah, me neither, except for this one, and I had to forego a little bit of money for it, but I thought it was worth it.
Bro.
So,
hell yeah! Are you kidding me? I'm not jealous at all, you son of a bit. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, that's really cool, dude.
Yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, the Super Slim, because this is a Super Slim, I thought it was released in 2012. Summer 2012, something around that time. So it was only like a year and a bit away from the PS4 launch. So I don't know.
I need to just hack one. I could buy a cheap PS3 and break it open.
So Joe, you can get any fat or any slim, not a super slim like what he has. Oh, actually, not a super slim like what he has. It needs something extra done to it. But any George Foreman fat and any slim can be turned into a test system by just jailbreaking it, basically, custom firmware.
Okay.
Do I have the balls to screw around with my fully compatible PS3?
With these ones, you can't jailbreak them.
No, you can load like a soft thing on there called hen, and you have to redo the exploit every single time you boot it up. But yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'd be buying a cheap second system, Joe, to be doing that.
Well, that maybe, but that's why honestly I feel like really I only need it for PS2 and PS1. PS3 I don't need it anyway. So that's why I'm thinking about just getting a modded PS2. And I have like the pound HDMI converter cables for it. And there isn't that much stuff that I want to collect. So I don't want to drop like $1,000 necessarily on a test system. I mean, do really, if anybody has one, but I don't. Yeah,
there's
a system out there, so really,
just I think that not many people know that, but even on the PS3, even if the system is a region free, publishers could still region lock their games. And I think there's 2 or 3 examples of games that are region locked on the PS3. And I think among those games you have Way of the Samurai and Persona 4 Arena that are region locked. So it's always weird that publishers will go for the region lockings since the system is region free. So, but yeah,
you don't want more people to buy our stuff.
And to add to that, that's interesting. So Way of the Samurai is actually not region locked anymore. They actually took it off.
Oh
yeah, I think they took it off through an update, but I think the disc is still region locked if you don't make any updates or anything.
it's cool. But Persona 4 is still region locked. I've tried to play a North American copy, and it comes up with you cannot play this game in this region on a PS3. I've only ever seen that once.
It might be collectible for that reason, right?
Yeah, because I think not many people will have that message on displaying on the PS3 actually.
Yeah.
Well, funnily
yeah,
enough,
exactly.
I sold it to a guy, and he says, "Hey, the game isn't working," and I had to explain that it's the only region-free PS3 game. He's like, "I'm a collector. I'll just keep it anyway. I'll buy another copy. It doesn't matter."
Like, now you got to buy all the regions, so you say you have them all, bro.
Hey, Tristan, I
Really?
wanted to ask, elaborate on something you mentioned before. So you're talking about in Netherlands, you'll get games that have English and Dutch, and then English, French, Dutch, German. What language is on the front cover and the spine of those games?
Just English, just the title of the game. It's not like a literal translation of the title of the game in Dutch.
I
Never.
think
At least I've
behind
never
that
seen.
being English wouldn't encourage people to collect full sets that are Dutch, because the game isn't in showing Dutch language, where the French
Yeah.
games are in French, right, Antoine?
Yeah, in French it's
What's funny also about it is that it's the same for some games in Switzerland, for example, because in Switzerland you have some Deutsch and so sorry, you have some German, some Italian, and some French on the cover, and so you would be but what would the title be? So when it's the case, the title is always in English. So it doesn't make any sense because on the back cover you have some French, you have some German, and you have also some Italian. But the title of the game is the English one. So yeah, but I think
Like the SingStar I showed you the other day, and you mentioned that's probably the Swiss copy.
yeah, because exactly because you had some Italian, some German, some French on the back cover. I think there was another language, but I can't remember.
Spanish, I
And
think, as well, or something.
yeah, and yeah, maybe it was also Dutch, but those three, I think, yeah. But if there's those languages, it could be maybe a European version. It could be also the Switzerland version, or it could be maybe another maybe Belgium or Netherlands. But yeah, I think it was the Switzerland version actually.
It's interesting how they've done that. I know there are a couple of exceptions with some kids games. There are kids games that will have the native language on the spine, and that's probably just so kids can find the titles on the shelves, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But for example, if I talk about the SpongeBob that we talked about earlier, if you get the French version, the title will be in French. But if you get the Dutch and French version, the title will be in English.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know if you're like looking for just spines, because then you'll know, oh, that's the French version or that's the Dutch version.
And it's funny with the SpongeBob one because due to the French only one being so sought after and expensive, the Dutch French version is also skyrocketed. It's crazy the prices that they're selling at. It's really
And you know what that would be? That would be like people substituting that for the actual French
because
version.
I think that most French collectors are frustrated that they can't find the French one, so they will get the Dutch and French one, and there are more and more demand for that version, and so yeah, the price has just skyrocketed as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy how things work like that.
Yeah,
That's the placeholder copy. I've done that. You buy the copy that you're like can get, and then you're like, I'll upgrade it eventually and flip this one if I ever can. So that drives everybody to get it because you have that placeholder.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. That the French, the Dutch French one sells for like close to 200 euros right now. So
that ain't no placeholder copy no more.
It's a very expensive placeholder.
You get that one and you keep that one and you get the French one.
It's almost like Aquanaut's Holiday for the PS3. Like the Japanese version's now close to $100. It used to be a $5 game because people are like, look at this rare game I got, but I got the cheap version.
of Aquanaut.
Yeah, or even Africa. Like people, you know, the Japanese version's $50 these days. It used to be a $5 game.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but I think we will see it happen for more and more games, because if you look back, maybe even 2 years or 5 years back, some of the games that are today very expensive, they were not as expensive or maybe even cheap. So I think we will see that a lot more in the future.
And
Unfortunately,
especially, I think PS3 will go up in price mainly due to also being not really emulatable. Like
It's not
the
emulator friendly
expensive
at all.
games are like Folklore, for example. If you want to play that, there's never been a re-release. You need a PlayStation 3 console to play that game. And when you get a
Exactly.
console, then you go out and get more games. You know, so I think
Yeah,
that will also play a big factor into it.
and same
Yeah,
goes
as opposed
for games like Puppeteer, for example, or other Sony release games that
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
never released elsewhere. But also a fun fact about that is there are some other elements that can impact the price of the games. So, for example, I noticed that lately the Armored Core games are
Insanely
skyrocketing also
expensive.
in price because of the six releasing soon.
Mhm.
So yeah, but because Armored Core games used to be very cheap, especially like Forencer or Armored Core 4, they were like $10 games maybe. 10 euros, I mean, and now you can find them for 50, and it's crazy just
60.
because of the release of the 6 episodes.
I used to not pick them up for $6.95 because they were just shovelware games. And I'm a From Software fan, and they were shovelware games to me, and now they're like $100 a pop. It's crazy.
Yeah, Armored Core 5 is like crazy expensive right now. Yeah. It's like 80 euros or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I've played Armored Core games. Like they're fun, but they're not games that you spend $100 on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've never played it, so
And you have to also you have to like the kind of mecha games and things like that, because it's very niche actually kind of game.
Yeah, there's like there is a very passionate mecha Gundam fan
Yeah.
base type people who are obsessed with that stuff. But it's like you said, it's kind of niche.
on the original Xbox, you have like the Steel Battalion. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah.
Oh
What it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
We
The
all know.
that's really
Yeah,
cool.
with a very very big controller, and you can't
Yeah,
play the game unless you have that controller, and it goes a full operation manual just to start the damn thing.
yeah. I've actually
It'd be
owned
fun
it
to
a
play,
couple of years ago, but it was so big, and I didn't play it. I tried it like twice, but I was really bad at it, so I sold it.
Hey Tristan, you
Yeah.
brought up a good point that the PS3 is hard to emulate, and like if you compare it to the Xbox 360, like the 360, you can go and play most of these games today,
Yeah,
even on the Xbox One, and they're on Game Pass, and like
Yeah.
it's not like that for the PS3. PS3 games, unless
Yeah.
you own it physically or you've bought it previously on your hard drive, good luck playing it.
yeah,
But
exactly. And you have
they still try
PlayStation
to
now.
they still try to do that with the subscription that they have, like for PS Now, for example, and
Yeah,
but those games are not some ports. They are still played on the PS3, you just get the display. But it's really hard to play those games elsewhere than on PS3 actually. Even for God of War Ascensions, for example, the third episode was released on PS4, but if you want to play Ascension, it's locked on the PS3, and it's the games for most games. So yeah, most exclusive games are still not possible to play elsewhere than the PS3, and I think it's
Mm.
why it's so valuable today.
So
yeah.
I
And,
think. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
so no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh well, so what I was just going to say is you got to also consider where we are in the life cycle. We're not even close to
Yeah,
when the stuff's going to freaking go crazy. Not even close, because it takes like a whole generation. You got to wait for all the kids who grew up playing PS3 to become 30 to 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
That was their system. And then they're the ones that are going to go crazy trying to find the games. And the ones that are already rare will be, it's going to be nuts. And I do like, what if like, Analog comes out in a decade with the analog PS3 Ultimate 12K, whatever the hell they're going to come out with, and all of a sudden everybody wants that, like, and they're collecting the cartridges again, like with a Nintendo or with a Genesis. That fever, that whole cycle hasn't even happened yet. So, like, I think it's going to be nuts, man. Especially like I think the Switch, PS4, PS3, like, people collected for it hard now, but it's going to go crazy in like 10 years. The actual
You
value.
think we'll ever see like a third-party system that plays PS1, 2, 3, 4 games? Like we've got systems with Nintendo that do all the, they do Sega Nintendo games, and they're allowed.
Yeah, but I guess those systems are relying on emulation mostly, and since PS3 is very hard to emulate, I don't think we will see those systems anytime soon, unless there's some very big improvement in the emulation part. Or you could also replicate the motherboard with some FPGA stuff, but I think it's very hard to do right now. So I think only time will tell, but right now I don't think it will be the case anytime soon.
It'll be a decade
No.
from now. Like I said, it'll be down the road when it's all cheaper and the technology is cheaper.
And on top of that, I think also, like, when they get into emulating, then it still has to get to a point where it's playable, right? Where you're not where it's not lagging or crashing down every 2 minutes. Because if that happens, then you're not going to play it, and you're still going to buy a PS3 and the games.
And people are probably going to want the original experience, so that may be multiplayer as well. Like, look at the backlash with the Red Dead Redemption coming out, that people can't play multiplayer and they got to pay full price. So people want to play games like they were. Like, I would give anything to go and play Mag. $400. I would give anything to play that game. And I hope one day someone makes that happen.
There are some people that are still trying to make the online work for earlier PS3 games, and I know that, for example, MotorStorm, you can still play online on private servers, and they are trying to make some more and more games compatible with the service. But it's fan made and it's nothing official, so you can't play obviously some big titles from back in the day. But I think it's still it's great that some people are trying to preserve the online experience for those games.
Like there's a massive community for the original Demon Souls on PS3, and you can hook up to fan-made servers and play online with people, and it's great. It still works, and it's actually more active than it was prior to them shutting down the servers, which is
and I guess if you want to play some games that were released on PS3, the best way today is to play them on PS3 or to wait until they're ported into PS5 or PS4 maybe, and you can see that, for example, next year we will have the remake of Lollipop Chainsaw on PS4 and maybe PS5 also. And because that game was locked on the PS3 and 360 generation. So I think more and more games from the past will be ported to other systems. Obviously, we all hope that they won't be ported like Red Dead Redemption, because if they have to be ported in the future console, we expect some improvements in terms of fluidity and maybe also some gameplay elements. But I think today we have two options: either wait for a port or play it on the original hardware.
Yeah, you're spot on there. And let's talk about the backlash from the Red Dead. So this is the announcement trailer on YouTube, and it's got 38,000 likes and 180,000 dislikes. So the community is definitely showing that they don't want this. I'm going to say that won't translate to sales. I'm still assuming that this is going to sell 10 million copies because it's got the name Red Dead Redemption and Rockstar on it. But let's hope that this backlash gets them to actually change something. Shout out to Sean for 54 months in a row on Twitch subscription. That's awesome, Sean.
That is awesome, man.
Hope you guys get a win tomorrow with Man U.
Yeah,
I was actually talking to some friends I think it was last week or the week before, that Rockstar, they have such a massive leverage on the market right now. Even with Red Dead or with Grand Theft Auto, they can just say bullshit with regarding to release date. and then the release date comes around, and they're like, "Oh, oops, it will take another year." And people they will get a little bit annoyed, but they will still buy it eventually. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think even with the backlash, even if people are mad about the quality of the port, it will sell anyway because it's just Rockstar. And we have seen that the Grand Theft Auto trilogy has also sold quite well, even though the ports are very bad.
Mobile ports, literally. So yeah.
See, I have like very, very little motivation to give a shit about a remaster from the PS3 generation because I like literally have zero. Like I could play Red Dead on my PS3 and be perfectly happy. I have no complaints. I don't even care if the frame.
You can get trophies on the PS3.
I could care less. Like you're not offering me something, and this isn't even a remaster, right? It's just a port. So it's just like you're just offering me the convenience of playing it on my other console sitting next to my PS3, which I don't give a shite. Like maybe getting it on the Switch, cool. You can play it portably, I guess. That's cool. That's got some selling point. But then now you're talking $50.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell no. I ain't paying $50. You can buy a copy of Red Dead for like $10 sealed.
$5
at minimum.
I found one at a flea market like $10.
And also for the Switch port, the full game won't even be on the cartridge because they choose to
no way
to make a large portion of the game that you have to download. So basically the cartridge will only have some of the files, but most of the game will be downloadable. So it makes no sense to get the cartridge in the first place. And the only advantage that you could have if to buy another port of Red Dead Redemption if it was a remaster and you could play it in 4K or even.
And you could play online with your friends now.
Yeah,
that would be a selling point.
Yeah, exactly. Because right now there's no added value besides the fact that you can play it on a modern system.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I will add one thing that we're not going to talk about, but Rockstar would have talked about in their meetings. The Red Dead Redemption 2 sold almost 60 million copies, where Red Dead Redemption 1, I believe, sold like 15 million. So there's 45 million people who haven't actually played the first one and probably don't have PS3s or Xbox 360s. So they don't care about us.
For $30,
but they're going for that audience, which kind of makes sense. But for myself, unless we're getting like the Demon Souls or the Shadow of the Colossus treatment, I'm not spending $1 on a remake. That's what I expect for a remake.
And like you can buy a PS3 right now for like, I don't know in North America, but right there you can buy one for like 50 max with 160 gigs. Yeah, and then you have like Red Dead probably in that stack of games. You have a PS3 for the price of the remake, remaster, whatever you want to call it. So,
and you get the greatest interface ever created, the PS3 menu. Because I don't give a shite. It is the best. It will always be the best. Nothing even comes close. Anytime I boot up the PS3, I'm like, oh man, why is it so good? Why is it so nice? It's so simple and clean. There's no ads. There's no bullshit. It's just like home. I like it. It's so nice, dude. Why did they screw up with it?
I had a shot of nostalgia today. I put on a PS2 game, and it was a PS1 title. So you get the PS2 menu pop up, but then it hits the PS1 sound, and you get the PS1 logo pop up. And it's just so
the PS1 boot up noise is the most nostalgic thing in the world to me. I can't help. I mean, for sure. You know the guy that made that passed away recently?
Oh, rest in peace.
Sad news. Yeah.
Guys, I think it's time to play Figsy's quiz.
Is that a question? Do I get a point already?
Is there a sound for it still? Hold up. I do have a sound here. Before we start the quiz, I've got an announcement. So we mentioned last week that we're going to be keeping track of chat's score. So I just want to announce that chat's score currently Windy Corner TV and Jimmy J have both got 1 point. So I can announce today that the first person from chat to get to 5 points will win themselves a video game. It will be a decent game sent anywhere across the world. So To enter, you simply have to get the correct answer in chat. We want the full title. First person to get it wins. No one on the show is allowed to answer from now on. We're allowed to give hints. No one's allowed to answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to give chat their question first. You guys have until the end of Figsy's quiz to get the correct answer. Just a reminder, if you get 5 correct answers, you will win a video game. So this is chat's question for the week.
So you got to name the game based on these pictures.
You have to name the game based on these pictures. I will leave it up for a little bit, and I will keep bringing it up during the quiz. But yeah, this is for you guys in chat. And now let's get into Figsy's quiz, guys. Anton, this is your first time playing. Tristan, you've played before. Joe, you've played plenty of times. Anton, would you like to go first tonight?
Yeah, okay. Let's go.
All right. Anton's going to go first, guys. Joe, you'll be going second, and Tristan, you'll be going third. The way this will work is each question is going to be worth 1 point. If you get the question wrong, it will go to the next person, and they'll have the chance to steal for 1 point. Let's get into it with question number 1. So Sylvan and Pavel have done all these questions. Thanks again, guys. Question 1. Which Game Boy Advance game came with a trading card? Was it Yu-Gi-Oh! Dungeon Dice Monsters, WinX Club, Duel Masters, Kajito Showdown, or Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire?
Okay, could be Yu-Gi-Oh, could be Duel Master. I know the PS2 version of Duel Master came with some cards, and also for the Yu-Gi-Oh one. I'm not sure though. I'd say maybe Yu-Gi-Oh.
Wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh, Joe?
Oh, damn, that was my guess. I was definitely going to say Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mine too.
Pokemon seems like a red herring. I have no idea. I'll say Duel Masters.
Not Duel Masters. Tristan for the steal?
I kind of agree with Joe that Pokemon is too easy, but it can also be the double janks, right? So, let's say Wings. Why not? Wings.
And the correct answer we were looking for was Winx.
Nice.
No way.
Nice.
And guys, before we move on to question 2, I just want to announce that chat have correctly named the answer. Jason Trickster has got the point with Green Day Rock Band. Congratulations, Jason.
Very nice.
And we'll just pull up the answer here. So, Jason, you will take a point. And if you get 4 more, you'll win yourself a video game. So be sure to catch the live streams and get yourself a win there. All right, question 2. Joe, this one's for you.
All right.
One of the rarest PS3 Gran Turismo prologue items is a not-for-sale demo disc. It was specially produced for a special event for what company? Was it Renault, Bugatti, Peugeot, or Citroën?
I think I know this.
Citroën.
Yes.
Correct answer was Citroën.
Yeah.
Joe gets another point. Joe gets a
I
point.
think you showed me that once. Did you own that?
I've showed you the Japanese one. It's a bit different. It wasn't that one.
Okay. Well, somehow I knew it. Good for me.
All right, question 3. Tristan, this one's for you. What year did Metal Slug X come out? Was it 1996, 1999, 2001, or 2004?
I have no clue, so I'm just gonna guess 2004.
Incorrect. Antoine?
Yeah, X. I would have said maybe 2001, but
Incorrect.
it could be. Yeah, okay.
Joe?
Oh, you guys, 50-50. I like it. We'll go with 1999.
And the correct answer was 1999. Joe takes
Based
another
on
point.
pure knowledge.
All right, guys, at the end of round number 1, Joe's got himself out to an early lead of 2 points. Tristan's right behind on 1, and Antoine's yet to score. Let's get into round 2. Still anyone's game. Antoine, this one's for you.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat character appeared in the original 1992 game as a glitch, which was presented by video game magazine Electronic Gaming Monthly. His name was deprived from a diagnostics menu in the first game that displayed the text error macro.
Okay.
This is
I have no clue. No, I don't know that one. I think I have no idea.
Hand this one over to Joe.
which Mortal Kombat is this? 1?
The original 1992 game.
I know you could. I thought you could get Reptile somehow, so I'm thinking it's him. But it could also be Smoke or Noob Sabot. I'm thinking it's one of those three. It's either Smoke, Reptile, or Noob Sabot. And I'm probably wrong.
Which one do you want to go with?
Smoke.
Wasn't Smoke.
Damn it.
Tristan?
It's not the other ones.
Joe, what were the other ones?
I don't know. I have no idea. I thought it was either Smoke, Reptile, or Noob Sabot. But I don't know.
I know nothing about Mortal Kombat, only Scorpion, so I would have guessed him. But
It's probably
since I trust you, Joe, I trust you. I will say Reptilian, or what was it?
Reptile.
Was it? I'll give you Joe's answer, Reptile. It wasn't Reptile we were looking for, and Jason got it. It was Ermac.
Ermac.
Okay.
Never heard of him.
All right, question 5. Joe, this one's for you. The fourth game
Don't trust me ever, Tristan.
in this series. The fourth game in this series has also received 12 game packs so far, like
What?
Spa Day, My Wedding Stories, Outdoor Retreat, etc. What game series is it?
The Sims.
The Sims is correct.
I have a girlfriend who is quite addicted to The Sims, so that one works.
All right, question 6. Tristan, this one's for you. How many PAL SingStar PS3 games start with the letter M?
Oh my god, it's so much harder than my question was.
Yeah, with the letter M from McDonald's or N
M from McDonald's.
Oh.
You can think about this one for a second.
I think you have, but like, does it have to start with, like, even if it's like L, for example, in Spanish? Like, does it start then with L, or is it the first word that comes after it?
It's just the first words.
Okay. Let me see. I have Morongas from Portugal. Well, that's a difficult one.
I know, but with you two on, I think it's quite a fitting question, and it's fitting that Joe didn't get it. Because if you get it wrong, Antoine will have to answer. So it's worked out well.
Yeah, I think Antoine knows it, so I have to get it correct. I think two PAL titles with the letter M.
Incorrect. Antoine, how many PAL games? How many PAL SingStar games started with the letter M?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I have actually to count them. So I'd say there's Made in Germany, there's Morangos, there's Mallorca Party, but I don't know if I'm forgetting one or if it's all that there is. But should we count also the variants of Ultimate Party that are, for example, Mega Hits?
Not counting the variants in this question.
Okay, so then I guess only 3 then. Maybe Mallorca, Made in Germany, and Morongos.
Incorrect. Joe, you want to start with it?
Well, obviously it's 4.
The correct answer was 5.
Ah, shit, you guys should have said
So we had Made in
3.
Germany, Motown, Malacca Party, and Morangas from Portugal.
I disagree.
yeah.
Morangos doesn't count because it was released in. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Tough
Literally.
question, but I think that was a fair one for you
I'm
guys.
so glad I got the Sims question.
All right, guys. At the end of
No
round
way.
6, Joe's got himself out to a lead of 3. Tristan's still there in 1, and Antoine's yet to get on the board with 0. Let's get into round number 3. Antoine, this next question's for you. I'm going to show you the Japanese title of a PS3 game. You have to tell me which game it is.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I think it's Way of the Samurai, actually. This one.
Which number?
3.
That is Way of the Samurai 3.
Nice.
Joe, I'm also going to show you a Japanese PS3 game. You have to tell me what the title is.
Okay. It's actually really familiar. God, is it Army of Two?
Incorrect. Tristan?
Oh, this also looks very familiar.
The War Game.
I kind of
goody.
want to say.
So like half the library.
No shit, dude. Like, could be any of them.
I kind of want to say like old Battlefield because it has the PlayStation Network on there, but it has the new style strip. So, yeah, I was just gonna say Battlefield 1943.
No hints. No hints.
Yeah, don't give hints unless everyone gets hints.
No hints.
Incorrect. Antoine?
Generic war game or something. Maybe. Yeah, as long as it's multiplayer, I could be. But I don't think it's Battlefield though. It's not Battlefield. It's not Army 2. Nah, man. I don't think it's Call of Duty either because I think the covers are pretty similar. It's hard. It's hard. No, I think I don't know. I don't know.
You got this, man.
No, I think I'll pass. I don't know that one.
You are all going to be kicking yourselves because we were talking about this game earlier.
Yeah, it's Mag, right?
Yeah.
Because as soon as you gave that stupid hint, I knew you cheated. No hints.
It's actually got a really cool cover too. I didn't
cool.
recognize it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I kind of want to get it now. All right, question number 9. This one is for Tristan. So I'm going to show you an advertising poster. You have to tell me what game this is for.
I don't know, but it's awesome.
Oh, I suck at these.
What the fuck? Paula Abdul album cover or something? Like, what are we looking at here?
Yeah, first thing that comes to mind is like a Dracula game, but yeah. Is it like PlayStation 3 life cycle, or can it be everything?
It
like,
can be anything.
Anything, okay.
That's not a PS3 ad.
Dude, that haircut is not
that's why
PS3
that's why
generation.
I asked.
Quality ad like this does not come out anywhere other than the 90s, sir.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I kind of want to say Symphony of the Night, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Symphony of the Night.
Can we get the full title?
Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I'll give you the point because this is for the Castlevania series.
Ah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, see, that's the 80s.
The answer was written down as Castlevania, so I'm awarding.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, the end of round number 2. Anton's got himself on the board with 1 point. Tristan's pushed out to 2 points. So Joe has the lead with 3 points. Let's move into the final round. Anyone can still win at this point, guys. So, Antoine, your next question. I'm going to show you 2 photos, Antoine, and you have to tell me the video game from these photos.
Okay. Okay, so it could be any console or stick to PS3.
Any console. It's usually going to be a well-known game, not something obscure or anything.
I think I know this one.
I don't know.
Sound it out. Usually helps people when they talk it through these questions.
Yes, I don't know. A glass of water and a mushroom, but I can't make sense of it right now. No, I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't know. I have nothing.
Hand this one over to Joe.
I have no idea, my friend. I really don't. So it could be. I mean, it could be a glass. It could be water. I'm thinking it's glass, or and then that could be a mushroom, or it could be one up. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's a one up. It's not just a regular mushroom. It's a free guy. So
I know it.
Tristan's got the point ready to steal.
no. I'm gonna say it for an hour. Then it's gonna be. I have no fucking idea, dude. Go ahead, Tristan.
Half-Life.
That is Half-Life.
That's what it is. It's half a glass. Gotcha.
I think you
Oh,
both
okay,
have
yeah.
the glass, but it was half full. That's where it is.
Well, yeah. I mean, these can also be interpreted in different ways. I've learned. So
Yeah.
think about it in multiple ways.
At first, I thought it
You get
was like
pigeonholed.
Mario Sunshine. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought it. And when you said it's a glass, it's half full, half empty, it can be a glass, then I was like, oh, Half-Life.
Gotcha.
And then you get a life when you pick one of those things up.
Yeah.
Being stuck on mushroom though, like I could see you not getting.
I didn't think of life. That's probably where because I thought of one up because
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. I was either
free
one
guy. I
up
was thinking
or
free guy.
yeah, one up
All right,
or
moving
maybe
on to the
mushroom.
next question. Joe, this one's for you. Again, I'm going to show you some photos, and you have to tell me the video game from these photos. So take note, there is a negative P and a negative D on these photos.
Oh, that's Resident Evil then.
That is Resident Evil.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Minus the P and minus the D, and you get Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Joe's done too many of these.
I'm like, what does pedophile evil have to do with it? Oh, I'm sorry. That's not what that is.
All right, moving on to question 12, final question. Tristan, I'm going to show you some photos, and you have to tell me the video game.
Oh, why do I get these? Can we switch the last question and this one with Joe and I? No? Let me see. The first one, it's like what is it? Is it like a mall or is it a store? Then you have.
You don't know. Damn.
Sorry?
You don't know what that is. I knew I knew instantly what that was.
I have no clue what it is from the picture is right now. Let me see. Then you have
freaking Hanna-Barbera cartoons really throwing me off, bros.
and the third picture, I recognize it, but I don't know what it is. What the name of the show was.
It's tough, and I only know it because it was a game that I cleaned tonight and played tonight. But I haven't talked about it all stream.
So you have Converse and Transformers, and the rest I don't know. So,
Get a video game out of that.
And the last guy, it's like his name is Spark, I think. So there is something to do with that. And then you have Converse and Spark. Yeah. Damn.
The part really helped. Thank you.
Can I call a friend? No, I really don't know what the first thing is. So
I'm gonna hand it over to Antoine.
let me take a final guess. It's yeah, I don't know, Uncharted or something. I don't know.
Antoine, do you know this one?
Okay, so it could be any game or stick to the PS3.
It could be any game.
Okay, so I have the Converse and I have the Transformer things. I also have the Wacky Motor things, Wacky Races, but I don't know the first picture, so it doesn't help really.
Yeah, the first picture is screwing me up, man.
Yeah, I don't know what the first picture is, but so we have Converse, could be shoe, it could be fruit, and then yeah, well, and the fact that I know that the third one is Wacky Races doesn't help me that much, so I don't
I used to
know.
love that cartoon, dude. That little dog.
Yeah,
Make that noise, dude.
no,
This is hard.
It's
yeah,
definitely
I
a
have
hard
that.
one. The difficulty level turned up for the last question. Sorry, Tristan.
No, I don't know either. I don't know either.
So I also got that. What's The Sims? And then you're like, how many PS3 games started with the letter M that was synced?
Nah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what's your favorite color? Blue. And you're like, how many games came out in Korea in 1996 with the letter T? Like, holy shit.
Do you want to pass on this one, Antoine?
Yeah, I don't think I know what it says.
Do you know it, Jim?
So I spent the last 20 minutes trying to figure out how to make it Metroid Prime because of Optimus Prime, but that's not it. The first picture, I do not understand what it is. It's like a drive-through or restaurant or something. Like, I don't know what that is, but it's definitely, that third picture is racing. It's a racing game because that's a race. They were always racing. There's a Hanna-Barbera race. I remember that. His name was like Dastardly something or something. He's like, but if it's not Prime, it's got to be Transformer. And those are shoes. Freaking hell, dude. I honestly have no idea, man.
Would you have guessed it, Gerard, if you got this question?
I would, because I instantly knew the first picture is Sonic Restaurants in America.
Okay.
Sonic.
Oh, you piece of dog shit. Now it makes perfect sense. Racing transformed.
Okay. Yeah.
Didn't put the past tense on it. Gosh, whatever, dude.
A couple of you guys in chat, Jason and James, both picked that one. But yeah, it was tough. Definitely a tough end to the quiz. But we can announce that this week's winner goes to Joe. Congratulations, Joe.
Whee, what do I get?
Try. Tell me you can't buy it. And stats are going up.
Yeah, you get bragging rights. It's already that.
No,
I want to get a little trophy to pop up at some point.
Well, Joe, you can say you won the quiz made by Europeans against the Europeans.
That was complete bullshit luck, sir. Literally, I think 2 of the questions were process of elimination. They guessed wrong, and I just... So
You got the easy one.
yeah, I'll take it though.
Yeah,
I'm the greatest that has ever lived. None shall ever defeat me.
I think it's time for some show and tell, guys.
Woo! Go. It makes no sense. We're holding Nintendo games. There's FIFA, Xbox games all behind us. The picture makes no damn sense, sir.
I think it's perfect.
I like it. Why should it make sense?
So, Tristan, would you like to go first? I know you've got some awesome stuff.
Oh yeah, I would love to go first. Let me see. I will start with this one. We talked about Swiss from games from Switzerland, and I here have an edition that's only released in Switzerland.
The cardboard box edition.
So no,
That's
it's a
not
wood.
That's
It's a wood. It's literally.
Oh my god, that's sick.
I was looking for this for a long time. Actually, a friend of mine that is heavily into 360, he had this for the 360. And, I was wondering, like, does it even exist for the PS3? And after, like, months of searching, I finally found it. It took a long time to reach me. It was very expensive, the shipping. But it is well worth it, in my opinion. And, by the way, this one also only has German, Italian, and French on the back cover.
It's got
So-
.ch, which is the Switzerland's domain code, which is quite interesting. And I
yeah.
recall, I read that there was between 150 to 200 of them made only.
Yeah, I saw numbers of 250, but it's very give or take. It's not a lot. Let's just keep it.
I've seen two.
Was it like a special event that they made it for?
Oh,
special
so
store.
good.
So it's like with the foam here and the padding, and this is, I think, a soundtrack for the game. I think. Yeah, it's crazy cool. It's crazy cool. It literally is just this, but yeah, I don't know for how weird and obscure it is. I just had to have it, and yeah, the edition itself wasn't that expensive. It also wasn't cheap, but the shipping was a bit much. But
So
well,
cool.
It's what you
Well,
do as a collector, sir.
yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately. Yeah, I got it easy in America, though. At least I get limited run games in my freaking country. So
Yeah,
that's a huge plus.
What else?
Video games. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I have
I
a lot.
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, it's the Mercedes cap from Lewis Hamilton, and he is sponsored by Gran Turismo. So,
Oh, that's cool. I just
That's
noticed
sick, dude.
so just a little oddity. I got this gifted from a good friend of mine.
The freaking
It's
hell,
a PlayStation 3 $1 bill,
it's illegal to deface our currency, sir.
and look at the pyramid there. Normally you have the eye right there, but now you have the PlayStation logo.
Oh, that's
So, and I got this gifted from shout out to Kim from Finland. He actually threw in two of these in a package of mine. Probably the best gift I've ever been given. So, and from what I know, there is very limited known about this. But it says right here, I
It's
don't know
like
if you can see,
Banksy or something.
Helsinki city. It says there,
HD.
and I'm guessing, and Kim didn't know as well, but I'm guessing it was kind of like a promo stunt from Sony over there. If anybody knows anything, I would be delighted to hear it. So because I know very little about it.
I
Maybe
think
it
I'll let
stands
the
for the hockey
FBI
club.
know about it.
Yeah, if you would own this, the IRS would come to your house. Huh?
It's true.
Yeah, you'd have to pay 30% on it.
Let me see. I also have this, the Uncharted 3 sticker book. This is probably, from what I've heard from collectors, the second rarest steelbook of PlayStation out there. The first one being Star Wars, so I still don't have that one yet.
That's really cool.
But I'm very happy with this. Again, I paid a lot of money for it, but it's in near mint condition. Yeah, the camera doesn't do it justice with the
Was that a
glare.
Dutch exclusive, Tristan?
It's a Belgian.
Just take it out of the thing, man. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that.
No, I
way.
know. I know.
No way.
That's like you just don't ask people on the show to do shit like that.
I'm very clumsy, so even if I take it out, I might drop it or something, and then it will. It will stay right where it is right now.
It looks really.
And
awesome.
it also includes a dedicated download sheet inside, so that's also collectible. In my opinion, that's also collectible to have it
The
complete.
explosion just looks so good on the front.
Yeah, as I said, the condition is amazing. It's probably the best sticker book condition-wise I have in the collection. Because normally the metal used for these sticker books, they are pretty low quality, so they rust pretty easily when exposed to moisture. But for some reason, this one has been kept in really good conditions. So
I don't want to know what you paid for that. I've seen them go for close to €1,000. So.
Really? Oh no, I didn't pay that much, but I paid a lot. I paid a lot. I will tell you after the show.
That's another question you're not supposed to ask on the show.
Yeah, that's why
I would say you got a good deal then if it's less than $1,000.
it's definitely less than 1,000. Yes. I'm not that crazy. So
Jason's asking for some context about it.
of the sticker book.
Yeah, so
Um,
that was released.
so- Yeah,
you know how many
it was
copies
released
there
in Belgium, and don't quote me on it, but I think it was a Saturn exclusive, which is kind of like it's like an electronics store in Belgium and in Germany. For example, in Australia you have EB Games or JB Hi-Fi, and then in Belgium you have Saturn. It's one of the stores, and I think it's just like a pre-order thing, or I actually don't really know. I think it's kind of like a pre-order bonus, because to my knowledge there is a mini subset of the Dutch ones, the Dutch sticker books, and they are.
was
You have Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit. I can take them out. I don't have them right here, but I can take them at the end of the show or something. I have them all except for Star Wars. So
no different to that, Andy. Andy's
And-
got one of the ones with the plastic around the outside, like the plate ones. I don't know.
Oh yeah. No, this one is different. Yeah. This is a blank steel book with stickers on the front, the back, and the spine. Because from what I know, they had a lot of blank steel books, excess material, and they wanted to keep the cost down producing these. So they just thought, well, let's just stick stickers on it and call
You
it
can
a day.
actually buy blank steel books. Like you can go online and buy them. So you
Yeah?
can buy what these are done for. I'm sure someone's out there printing like stickers for these. You know?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's really interesting to know, because I don't know how easy it is to fake this, but it's definitely good to know that it can be done to fake these. I know since mine has a download sheet, I know it's legit. But if it doesn't include it, then it might be very hard to differentiate.
Yeah, definitely. And
Um,
again, yeah, you're spot on. Like that's something that would be hard to fake. Like the bonus disc in the Mirror's Edge would be something.
yeah, exactly. That's like, I'm just gonna say that's not, you can't fake that to a collector. That's impossible. The amount of time and energy, and not even that, but the money as well involved in that, to fake that to a collector, it's no way.
But the steelbooks themselves are faked. So like,
Yeah,
just have due
that's-
diligence when you're buying this stuff, because there's fakes out there and it's reality.
Let me see. For the next item, I have a PlayStation Network press kit.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is one of these
We should
things.
have you
that
go last, Tristan, because we're all going
I
to be
was thinking
showing
that as soon as you said go first, I was like, he's gonna have some rare, crazy, wild stuff.
So it kind of folds out like this with a disc inside of it. Wait, I'm just gonna.
That's cool.
So it's kind of like an origami type, foldable stuff, and then it has a disc in here. It doesn't include games, sadly, but it includes like promo stuff and a demo. I think it was Wipeout, but I'm not too sure. I guess they just put this on kiosks back in the day and let it play the whole day.
PSP as well, it says on the disc.
Yeah, it also says PSP. That's correct, right there.
Let's go.
And to make it complete, because what are you gonna do without games? It includes a voucher with with games on there. I'm not too sure if I should show the codes.
You don't have to show us the codes, don't worry.
Yeah, like
Oh.
this. And it
Also,
has
games that didn't come out physically. That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, exactly. And that nation, it's like a very expensive digitalis. So and Tumble and No Heroes Allowed. Those games I never heard about in my life until I saw it on here. So.
I think Tumble was released in Japan under another name, actually.
Ah, okay. That's
And
That's very good that you
if,
mentioned it.
if I'm not mistaken, maybe in PAL region we have it in a collection of a game. I can't recall exactly, but maybe it's it's the same one with the dart game. I don't know. I don't recall the name of
Is
that
it the
collection.
Move Mine pack or one of them move packs? I feel like I know the one
Yeah,
you're
but
talking about.
it's one of the packs. I think Tumble sure. It was released in Japan as a standalone, but we got it in PAL in another game, but under a different name. I think.
And then
Okay.
No Heroes Allowed got a PS4 release in Asia, and it's in VR too. I recall right, Joe?
Say one more time. No Heroes Allowed? Yeah, that
Yeah.
was it's VR1. And then there's a couple different versions of it, but it only got Asian releases. It didn't get a US release.
And
then
it's
for
expensive too. It's up there in the VR games of like the most
Okay.
expensive.
Okay.
It is.
I
So
didn't know all this, so yeah.
there's a yeah, I'll show you. I think I have it somewhere over here. There's a Chinese English version that has English on the cover and the spine. That's the most valuable one. And then there's a version that has Chinese on the cover with, I think it's English on the spine. But the one with English on the cover and English on the spine is the one that's extremely expensive.
I should go and look for one then.
It's a PS4 though, not PS3, so maybe later on for you.
Yeah, yeah.
This bad boy.
And then, okay.
So if it has that English,
It's on my list. I really want to own that.
Is it a good game? Because I have no clue what it even is, to be honest.
Yeah, it's like a simulated tabletop thing. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It looks fun. It's like a co-op game, I think.
Okay. Interesting. And then I have some pre-order, like Germany and Russia that I know of. They have a couple of pre-order items. So you when you go to a store, you pay for the pre-order and you get a little extra with that pre-order. And for some reason, some of these are really hard to find. Like they are store exclusive and like specific store exclusive. So not the whole franchise, but one store in the whole country. So these can get pretty crazy.
Russia is a pretty big country, I imagine.
Yeah. So here we have Uncharted 3. And it says something with like €20 price reduction or something. I don't really know what's going on with that, to be honest. But
Slash through the rating, and that's so interesting. The cover.
Yeah. And with this, if it's empty, I don't really trust it. That it's legit Sony, because everybody can print a cover, but it also includes like again a download sheet and some stuff. So that way I can kind of confirm that it's legit Sony and not like me or you printing out a cover.
Well, like in Australia, for example, my local EB Games will have display covers before the game comes out, and they're not printing them themselves, but it's their head office that print them and send them in.
Okay.
They do it for the Switch though, and the Nintendo ones have got Nintendo on them, and they're made out of paper. I take them for free because they give them to us, and I sell them for like $30-40 a pop. So
Yeah,
they can
that's.
be quite collectible.
In my opinion, they are very collectible, especially for like a series like Uncharted. Like I know a couple of hardcore collectors for these,
Yeah,
and
100%.
they're very interested in it. I'm
Probably
not
the
saying
same
they will.
people that want the sticker book that you've got.
Yeah, that's a little bit more desirable. Yes, but next of these we have The Last of Us from Russia.
That's cool.
That's cool.
And this
QR
is not.
code on the front.
And The Last of Us from Germany, the remastered on PS4. This is actually a big box.
Holy crap, dude!
With the shirt in there.
He's got a fat ass. No, I'm sorry.
That's cool.
Yeah, both of these are, in my opinion, I've been looking for this one. I had been looking for a very, very long time, and it's still incomplete. I can show you. It's the most nitpicky thing ever, but it is what it is. So you have like voucher and stuff like that. You have a poster, more stuff coming with that, and then you have a sticker sheet, but it's missing one sticker. So
Disaster.
yeah,
Boo! Next item.
Yeah.
Up here.
so I still have to look for one complete, but yeah,
Trying to
you-
find
so-
just this sticker. Anyone have just this sticker?
and then you have to perfectly align it to
Good
have it
luck.
exactly in there.
Good luck.
You basically have to buy another one that's complete and then sell
Yes.
yours.
Yeah. Most
that's-
likely, I have to
that's
do
pretty
that
much what you'd
and
have to do.
look if somebody's interested. I think there are people interested in this, even though it's not complete. But yeah,
Mhm.
we'll see. And yeah, this one I just randomly stumbled across on eBay when I do my eBay search things, and
That's so
this
cool.
one,
Why is it so
Yeah.
big? Oh, it's got a shirt in it.
it's got a shirt in it, yes.
Got it.
And I don't know. I don't know a lot about this. There is not a lot of info about this. I decided to pull the trigger. It was not cheap, but I thought this is something. Lots of it is so collectible. This is something
It's
so unique and obscure. I thought just like, why not?
That's
I've
smart.
seen people go
Sometimes-
crazy on Facebook when you posted it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I got a couple of inboxes, people interested in it, but
You can have
sadly,
my
I'm not
first child.
And last of the pre-order stuff, we have this is, in my opinion, very interesting because it's not only G1 for a PlayStation exclusive, but it's also a G1 slipcover, and it's the Gran Turismo pre-order slipcover. So
Badass.
yeah, I don't know what went on when people thought this was a good idea to make a G1 and not standard Blu-ray size, but I'm all up for it because that makes it collectible, in my opinion.
That wouldn't fit on my slipcover shelf. That would be so annoying.
Yeah, I was thinking of that. Like, if you have like a Blu-ray space and it doesn't fit in there, like where are you gonna
They
put
all
it?
fit perfectly.
And this also includes like stickers, and this sticker sheet is complete, so there's that. It includes a poster and I don't know, so also like a download voucher of some
Is that
extra.
from Poland?
It's from Russia. It's from
Okay.
Russia. Yeah, I don't know. It's also in very, very good condition. So I like that when the slips are in very good condition. Then I have only one real item left, and then at the end I will show the sticker books. And this is the Epic Mickey 2 from Germany with the comic book inside. And
That's
it's
so cool, man.
yeah, it's
Oh,
very
that's cool.
weird the format.
That's
of
very
this.
weird.
The size of the box.
They just have to.
They
make-
just literally like took the regular cover and they just slapped the Photoshop.
yeah.
Printed that bad boy out.
Laziest Photoshop job ever.
That is really like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
It doesn't even
exactly.
line up on the side. Oh my god! You show the front and the side together. Can you just show the lines? Oh yeah, just look at that for a second. My brain.
I think the shades of black's actually different too. It's a little bit darker and then lighter.
Yeah, it kind of has to do with if you can see it, it fades out to more darkness, and then
I can
yeah,
see the difference.
it's pretty weird. Yeah. But
Still
again,
cool
it
as
kind
hell,
of makes
man.
it collectible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I've only seen 2 copies in my entire life, and this is one of them. The other one I wanted to buy, but the seller never responded to me, and then pulled the advertisement offline. So I guess it was already sold. And then I came across this. It was just a stock image on eBay, but I asked the seller, and he was like, "Oh, sure, I will send you pictures."
I think
And when
that
he
was an exclusive from the Saturn Electric Show. Is that
okay,
the same
okay.
store you mentioned before that was in?
That's the same Saturn in Belgium. Yeah.
Nice.
So
I
yeah,
would love
then
to
you
see how it all fits inside. Like, is the comic
Yeah.
bigger, or like what's the empty space doing? And
yeah,
I hope
I,
it all fits Tristan, but I'm
I
curious.
won't open it, but I think it's the comic it takes up like the whole volume in height. So yeah, I don't know. This is one of the delicacies of my collection.
It's really cool, man.
Well, I put a couple of things out of the collection this week. Nothing as exciting as what Tristan's just sold, but nevertheless, some pretty exciting pieces. So the first one is this is the BioShock Infinite Premium Edition. This is a sealed Australian copy. It comes with a limited art book, a little minifigure, lithograph, keychain, a soundtrack, an upgrade pack, and a network theme. I love these like little boxes that fit on the shelf and like this size too, that don't stick out and things like that. That's sort of as big as I'll go these days in like special editions. So I've got another one that's sort of really similar. Now this one's even better because it fits next to the slipcovers. And this is the Disgaea 4 collector's edition. Again, this one's sealed in the Australian version. And it's really cool because it's like really wide, but still fits on the slipcover shelf. I love it.
I don't quote me on it, but I think this is actually an Australian exclusive edition.
Really?
I
Interesting.
think it is because
Yeah,
I've never
I
seen
think
Paul
so.
one.
No, I never saw that elsewhere than in Australia, I guess. So never in Europe, at least. So this may be.
Well,
This
to
may
add
be
to that, it's Australian, but we got multi-language on the actual game, so that would suggest that it was sold elsewhere. Is that French? No.
Yeah, that's French. Yeah.
Yeah, that's French. Yeah, but I never saw that in France.
And the third
Interesting.
one here, I've got a couple of slip covers. So I love collecting sets, and there's a couple of little subsets in the slip covers, and one of them is for the WWE. So the WWE have 3 games for 2011.
The Hitman.
Bret the Hitman Hart bonus pack.
I'm a
We
fan.
have the Dead Man, the Lord of Darkness bonus pack.
Nice.
And we've got the Viper, Randy Orton, the Viper edition. So the first 2 got Australian releases. The Viper only got a UK release, so I had to get the UK version. But I think these are really cool together.
I like
they
the
all come with
colors.
like a big card of the wrestler, and the Randy Orton one actually comes with a DVD of No Mercy 2007, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's what I got
Those
for
are
us
cool.
until this week.
I don't know why, but I love the colored strips at the top, like
Yeah,
together as
yeah,
a set.
me too.
Yeah, I think that was
Stuff
cool
like
too,
that, man.
and they're all
Yeah.
different.
And the lines all line up.
Yeah.
I like it. Satisfies my OCD.
That's my show until this week. Joe, what do you got for us?
I just got some pickups, but I do have some pickups. I got some stuff. So I randomly, for some reason, decided to start buying PS2 games again. I don't know what the hell why. I just been like, there's a few that I've wanted for a long time. Basically, what happened is after COVID, I was like bitter about the prices, so I just like stopped collecting PS2. I was like mad. But some of them have come down to within reason. So I just picked up a couple cheap games. But first one I picked up, it's nothing special, but it's called Arctic Thunder.
That
Just a racing game where you race on, snowmobiles. And I just love crap like this. I like racing games. I love PS2 racing games for some reason, especially too. That's generation of racing games. I'm obsessed with like all the Need for Speeds, Burnouts, and everything. So it just looked really good, and it was $10. So why not, dude?
Nice. Looks give me like James Bond vibes with the missile on the front cover.
Yeah, it looks like a. Do you have weapons and shit in this? Yeah, it says you got missiles, snow bombs, atomic snowballs. Yeah, it sounds fun. I like that. So it's like Mario Kart sort of on sleds. This is just a really kind of cool looking, gory looking beat 'em up type game. It's called Nano Breaker from Konami.
Oh yeah, that game is good actually.
It looks dope. Yeah. So I've been recently. That's like one of the genres I've been going after. There's a lot of like the action type games on PS2. And this is one of the first ones I picked up. It's a really clean copy. It's really cheap too. It's like $30, something like that with shipping and everything. But yeah, it's complete. And so I'm kind of going for like a lot of the Konami games and a lot of the Capcom games that came out on PS2. That's kind of what I've been focusing on right now. That's all I got for PS2 games. For PS4, I went out and got good old Goat Simulator 1.
Yeah. Always fun game.
1 in 3 because 2 doesn't exist.
Exactly. So we were just talking about that, which is funny. And the reason I knew that is because I have 3 and I've been playing it, and I was like, oh, I should pick up the other ones. I'm sure they're fun. And I'm like, where's 2? Where is 2? What the freaking hell? Does 2 exist? Is there 2? And like, I'm not sure if there is 2, but I don't think so. But here's 1, and it did not get an ESRB release. So there's the old good old PAL version, I believe. I don't think it got a US release, so I had to get this version. But I'm looking forward to it. I like these games. They're stupid fun.
Yeah, they are a heap of fun. They remind
Yeah.
me of like Tony Hawk games in a sense.
Yeah.
Because you got the collectibles.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Any game that I laugh a lot.
It started some sandbox kind of you do what you want. You don't have to follow really any objective because you're free to do whatever in these games. I think God Simulator was actually one of the first. And yeah, I mean, basically, I heard also that a lot of bugs in the games were actually they didn't really know how to fix them, so they just let them in and said, yeah, it's a feature, it's supposed to be there, to be like that, and that's why you have some crazy shit in the game. And yeah, they only fixed the game breaking bugs and things that were crashing the game, but all the fun stuff they left it just like that.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk should have used that excuse.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like this, guys. Just create your own experience.
Exactly.
That's gold. I love that.
Yeah, dude. That is good stuff. So this one, I was kind of on the fence of getting it, but I picked it up anyway. The Sonic Origins Plus. It was on sale. Comes in this nice slipcover.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, everyone loves the Slippy.
Yeah, and it's it's a remaster of a bunch of Sonic games, but I don't know, and I don't know if this is true, but I think this is the one that all of its content's not on the disc. I could be wrong. But I haven't checked. If all the games are on here, then I'm pleased. If it's like half the games are on here and I have to download the other half, I'm going to be less than pleased. But either way, it was cheap, and it is a nice addition, and I love Sonic. So what are you going to do? So I got a couple limited run games showed up. I got Virtua Verse. It's a cyberpunk point and click adventure game. I'm a sucker for these types of games. I have quite a few of these style of like low bit cyberpunk type games. I have no idea if it's good, but it looked cool as hell. So I picked it up, ordered it like God knows how long ago, and here it is. So
I love how the background and her hair kind of like merges into one. It's cool.
Yeah, it's the artwork's sick. I don't know if you can see the back very well. Damn. But yeah, I don't know. If you like Blade Runner type shit, you'll be into it. And then I do have my little passion for FMV games, so they released another one. It's called Blood Shore. Looks pretty badass. It says it's a brilliant, blood-soaked, campy thrill ride. It's an interactive action movie about a televised battle royale between high-profile streamers, entertainers, and death row inmates. You control the fate of Nick, a washed-up actor who fights for a life-changing cash prize. So it's like
the American Fugitive.
It's like Running Man or freaking Hunger Games, that type of thing, where I think everybody's pitted against each other to try to kill each other. It sounds awesome, and I love these types of games. They're super fun with groups of people. That's what I like to do. I don't like to sit by myself and play them, but I like to play them with my girlfriend or my nieces or my whatever. And we all pick what happens, and then we all laugh because we're terrible at them. Everybody dies. So then I got these. Couldn't help it. So I picked up the Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons, the new Double Dragon game.
Double copies of Double Dragon.
Yeah. I mean, so if a company is going to release a game I want for $29.99, I'm buying both of them, like almost every time, because that's $60 to get both copies. I'm totally pleased with that. I'm like, keep one sealed. I can play one on my Switch, whatever, and like I don't know, I do that quite often. And again, also, Sony, if you had released a damn handheld that I liked, this would also be happening. All your money would be yours, but it's okay. I'll collect for the Switch, too.
Yeah, it's funny because it's true, though.
100% true. If like the Vita or Vita 2 was out and all this stuff was getting released, I'd be buying them on the Sony handhelds, but they're not. So they're just giving my money to Nintendo. Speaking of giving my money to Nintendo, my copy of Ikaruga
Ooh.
finally arrived.
Now, this is the second release of it?
They did a reprint, yeah. So the PS4 version only got printed once, and I think you can still get some of those on Nicholas's website. But the Switch one got sold out like really fast and has been super expensive for a long time. So they did a reprint of the regular edition, and they also did a reprint of the collector's edition. I'm not going to open this. I'm just going to keep it sealed because for my shmup collection or whatever. But the only thing I love about this is if you look at it, oh man, I don't know if you can see it. It says our frothing. It says our frothing demand for this game increases. So I don't know if you remember, like IGN did a review of this game like a million years ago, and they said the frothing demand for this game is. I can't remember some stupid ass thing, but I thought that was really funny that they put that on the cover.
Is that on the
Our
original
frothing
release
demand.
as well?
I don't know. I
feel like it's not.
think so. I don't think it is. I feel like it's not, which is cool in a way because I'm a huge fan of any company that differentiates their reprints.
Yeah,
So
and it's just a way of doing it too, because it's a little like nostalgic dab at the old community. I love that.
Yeah, and it's just on the wrapping. It's not on the game or on the artwork or whatever. Okay. So if you could just, if you're like that bothers you could take it off, but I don't care. And yeah. Also, this game's wicked overhyped. Just saying, it's not that great. It's really not. And my big purchase finally freaking came in as I did finally get my Steam Deck. Yeah. So I got the big bad boy, the 512 version. And yeah, I've been playing with it for like 2 days now, and it's freaking awesome. And yes, I'm mostly playing Vampire Survivors. That was immediately the first game I purchased. It was like $700 freaking toy. I'm gonna play this 8-bit game right here. Yeah.
Well, that meme we showed last week with the solitaire.
Yeah, actually the same thing was when some people were playing on their high-end PCs, and you asked, yeah, what are you playing on them? Because you could play anything in 4K and max settings and everything. And what are you playing? Yeah, I'm playing Undertale.
Undertale, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is what it is. I did
the game that can run on like any computer in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what I did. I played. Binding of Isaac was like my number one game. It's like a freaking Flash game. So, but yeah, that's all my pickups for this week.
You got anything for us, Antoine?
Yeah, no, as I said, I'm actually not home. That's why I'm using my phone. And so I don't have games with me right now because I'm not home. But I just quote one because I think it's the most valuable thing that I got lately. And it's the variant of Lollipop Chainsaw, the one that was released in the Emirates, Arab Emirates. And so I'm pretty sure you see what the variant is, but yeah, it's in terms of value and value to me at least it's the one that I got lately, and it's the one. Yeah, exactly, that's the one.
So it's gone up in price like crazy lately. It's like $200 now, and it never used to be.
Yeah,
it sells for €200 easily.
And it's got the white spine as well, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So this is the one I got lately. I'm also waiting for other things to arrive, but I've kind of put that on hold for now since I'm on vacation and I won't be able to collect the games right now. So, yeah.
I will try and go for a sneaky game hunt when I go on vacation.
We'll need to do a rematch where I can show what I have home, but right now I don't have anything home. So.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you back on, man. It's been great having you on.
Yeah, Antoine, I actually I got this game, and maybe you can shed some light on this variant.
Oh yeah, exactly. So this one is actually a French exclusive. So it's not Heavy Rain because Heavy Rain, everybody knows Heavy Rain, but it came to a certain period of time that. So I don't know if you were aware of this, but actually Quantic Dream wanted to release 2 DLCs for Heavy Rain. So there's one that they were able to release, and it was the Taxidermist, which is included on the Move edition of Heavy Rain. And they also wanted to release another DLC, which was focusing on some backstory of the characters. But it was also the time where Sony just launched their PS Move feature and PS Move hardware. So they asked Quantic Dream to work on the Heavy Rain to make it compatible with the PS Move. So that's what they did, and they released a PS Move version of Heavy Rain. And after this, it was only to help Sony sell their PS Move games and PS Move accessories. But after that, they saw that the release of the Move edition of Heavy Rain wasn't so successful. So they said, yeah, maybe it's because it's 18 and plus, Peggy 18. So maybe that's why it's not selling so much, because the PS Move was emulating the Wii features, and the Wii is family friendly. So they said maybe Heavy Rain was not the best game to put Move features in it, so they can sell it. So they said, yeah, maybe we need to address to a different audience, a younger audience, and they asked Quantic Dream, instead of making the second DLC that they wanted to make, they asked them to make a more friendly, family-friendly version of the game. But Heavy Rain being Heavy Rain, they couldn't really make it Peggy 3, so they just toned down the violence, toned down a lot of things. So they had to censor a lot of sequences of the game, and they managed to get a Peggy 16, and they call that Edition Modifiée, which is a modified edition, and they only released that in French. So it was compatible with PS Move as well. But this one you can only find in France, and it's quite rare, because it released like maybe 1 or 2 years after the release of Heavy Rain, and at this point everybody moved on to something else. So yeah, it's a very niche and very uncommon edition of the game.
It's a really cool one to see. And when I first seen it, I just assumed it was the Move edition. I wasn't aware that it was this.
No, because what you can check if it's this edition or not based on the Peggy, because the Peggy rating will be 18 for every version of Heavy Rain, and it will be 16 for this one.
Is that the same for the greatest hits and the platinum versions as well?
On the disc and on the manual.
Yeah, on the disc you will have Edition Modifiée as well, and also on the booklet.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just a censored version of it.
Yeah,
got some of the
basically like Wolfenstein and
Painkiller in Germany is the cut version, because it's got cut. They took away content, you know.
Yeah, but it's different than the one they had in Germany, actually. It's
really interesting.
It's its own thing, actually.
It's amazing how much time and energy people think put into that still. Censoring games, and the rating system. It's like we give 12-year-olds cell phones, guys. Do you realize what we've done? What the hell does it matter anymore? You can look up any goddamn horrible, awful, terrible thing on this planet anytime you want. So what the hell do you care if there's some digital gory blood in the game? Ooh,
they don't even have to look it up. They can just go, Alexa.
Yeah, seriously. Like, it's off. It's over. It's over. Like, unless you keep your kid in a cave.
And basically, you could say that it's because of the Move edition and the modified edition that we never got a second DLC for Heavy Rain, which is a shame, but that's how it is.
And let's be real, when I was a kid, anytime someone said something was censored or like I wasn't supposed to, I wanted that more than anything in the world. All you're doing is making it the coolest goddamn thing in the world. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, it's
I'm
the
like,
curiosity.
I'm not supposed to play this? Hell yeah, I'm gonna get that immediately. That's the first thing I'm gonna buy. Like, it doesn't make sense. They're not smart.
Yeah, exactly.
But it makes cool editions like that come out. So I guess I'm.
Yeah.
There's all the PS3 collectors.
And now the irony is that now this censored edition, this modified edition, is more thought after than the regular one. So you know,
See, I think I want them to go. I want them to like take a Disney game and give me like a super R-rated version of that shit. That's what I want. Just give me like the new Disney Castle Magic game and make it less completely graphic, totally inappropriate. It's completely outrageous.
Or a
Man.
inappropriate Mario game.
Well, there
That
is
would
an
be
appropriate Mario game.
I'm sure.
Nintendo owned the license to it. No one's ever going to.
Oh yeah. No, but I mean
the
like
movie.
yeah. The movie. I mean like the game. A game.
No, there was a porno made, and
Yeah.
it was like made in the 80s, and Nintendo bought the license to it before it could come out, so no one would see it.
I have actually the sealed, unreleased version. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey guys, I think we might call that a night. Tristan and Anton, thank you so much for coming on the show, guys. We'll definitely get you both back on, Anton, when you're back in your game room, and you
Yeah,
can show us.
thanks for having me.
Should I quickly grab the sticker books, or will we do that another day?
Oh, we'll do that another time. We'll get you
Yeah.
back on and do an episode where you just show us stuff off, because that's some of my favorite viewing, just seeing some of the things in your collection, Tristan.
Heck
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
No, it was
Yeah,
a fun
thanks.
episode. Went fast,
I'll
guys.
see everyone on Thursday/Friday, and have a good night, guys. Peace.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Everybody.
Great thumbnail.
You